So this is how the emoji picker extension works. You hit the colon key and it shows you the last 5 emojis that you have used, or you could type something and it will try to look for a relevant emoji, right? Now if you notice, the last used emoji has been added to your list and you will see that in your recently used list. So the way this works is, first you need a source for all the emojis to show up here, right? Then you need to set a trigger for the colon key, which will bring up a list of emojis. Then you also need to implement a way to filter from your larger set based on the query added by the user, right? So these are the few aspects which are already supported in the mentions plugin by Tiptap. The only difference here is the data set there is a list of names that you could select from and mention people. The trigger is usually the at key because you are mentioning users or people in your organization. And when you start typing a name, it will filter through the list of the people and let you select from a subset of that list. So conceptually it is exactly the same. The only thing that changes is the trigger and the data set. In this case, instead of people, it's going to be the data set of emojis. So let's take a look at that. So this is how you configure the mention extension in the TipTap editor by passing it the emoji suggestion utility. So this is the suggestion utility that is mentioned in the mention node for TipTap. As we saw, this basically is a set of directives that tell how the node should behave, right? So basically what it has is, to start off, it has this character property where you specify what character should trigger the uh, action, right? What character should trigger the showing of the data set, right? In this case, the emoji list. The second property is items. What items should be shown when this character is pressed by the user, right? Now, the first thing to do is have a larger data set of either all the usernames or all the emojis. In this case, since we are talking about emojis, we get these emojis from a fantastic library called Emoji Base, right? Just go to emojibase.dev to see the instructions on how to use this library, right? So this is what we do here. We get that entire list in compact emojis array, right? And then we filter that list based on the user's query, right? If the label contains the user's query, just return those emojis, right? That's what we are doing literally, right? Now, one more thing that we do is, when the query is empty, right? When the user has just pressed this colon key, we show the user their most recently used emojis, right? So this is where we get them from. We get them from the local storage. So whenever the user uses an emoji, we need to be able to save that emoji to local storage also, right? So we will take a look at that also next. Then the render property basically tells what component should show up, right? How it should be rendered. So emoji list is the component that should be rendered. So if you open that component, you will see like it's a normal React component, and you can specify your CSS styles and everything, and what happens when the user clicks on that emoji, all of those things, right? How the keyboard should behave, what happens when the user hits the arrow left, arrow right key. All of this you will find in the code that is included in the links below. So don't worry about that. One interesting thing that I wanted to show was storing the emoji in local storage, the emoji that the user has used, storing it in the local storage. So select item is the method that gets called when the user clicks on the emoji or selects the emoji, right? So we are literally simply creating a key value pair in local storage called emojis, which is an array, and we are simply adding that recently used emoji to that list, right? And this is the list that we will try to read from when the user has just hit the colon button. Here we are using TP as one of the dependencies. So this, I mean, it uses is under the hood basically, but this React component gets rendered inside TP essentially. TP is basically kind of a tooltip renderer library that's used in JS. So yeah, I mean, going back to the emoji suggestions uh, utility, you see it being used here, right? This pop-up which is being rendered by TP and which uses the component that you have chosen, emoji list, is being used here, right? So yeah, that, and I mean it has like some more handling of what happens when the user hits the escape key. It hides the pop-up, so on and so forth. But essentially, the main crux of the of this extension is you use the mention node from Tiptap, and the only change you have to do is the suggestion object. You have to pass this suggestion utility, right, to the suggestion property, and you can get your set of emojis from anywhere. I chose to get it from emoji based library. It's a very neat library, very well implemented, and then filter it based on the user's query. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So please let me know if you find this useful in the comments below. I'll also include links to the repo, and if you find any issues, please let me know. I'll try to fix them. And if you use it in your projects, please let me know. I'll try to feature them. Thank you so much. Bye.